Macaulay Culkin. One of the most symbolic actors of 90s television, the boy who played Kevin in the Home Alone series. According to Culkin, the culprit for his life to go downhill was his father, who began asking for incredible sums of money when he began his stardom, something that the producers reacted in a negative way. On September 17, 2004, Culkin was arrested in Oklahoma for possession of 17.3 grams of narcotics and two substances, alprazolam and clonazepam, but was released on $4,000 bail. After being judged in court for minor offenses, he was declared innocent but later turned himself in as guilty. He received 3 prison sentences with a 1-year suspension and was ordered to pay $540 in fees. Unlike others, he has never had psychiatric problems or had to go to rehab. He currently has a rock band called the Pizza Underground, which is about to split. Jake Lloyd. The young Anakin Skywalker had many problems since his fame from the film. Moreover, he stated that Star Wars turned his life into hell. On June 17, 2015, Lloyd was arrested for reckless driving without a license and resisting arrests. His mother, Lisa, stated that Lloyd has schizophrenia and that the accident had been brought about by not taking his psychiatric medication. She added that Lloyd attacked her at her home in Indianapolis on March 26 because of his struggles with the condition. In April 2016, he was transferred to a psychiatric facility after being diagnosed with a severe case of the condition. Apparently, he was a victim of extreme bullying at school while shooting Star Wars, and that triggered nightmares in his head. Drew Barrymore. She is probably the only one on this list who managed to overcome all the difficulties in her life. Because of her sudden stardom, Barrymore endured a notably unpleasant childhood. She started smoking cigarettes at age 9, drank alcohol at age 11, and started with narcotics at age 13. She was sent to rehab at the age of 14, where she spent 18 months in an institution for the mentally ill. An attempted suicide on the same year put her back in rehab. After several ups and downs, she went to New York to try her luck on a play, and she easily found herself with narcotics in nightclubs. She stole a credit card and flew to Los Angeles with a friend where she purchased more substances. In 1989, she attempted suicide again by cutting her wrists but was rushed to the hospital just in time. Over time she tried to mend her relations with the family with a mind to change and get better. Amanda Bynes. Another child star who is famous for her roles in Nickelodeon shows crossed the line. After being arrested numerous times for illegal conduct, without documentation, and with the effects of various narcotics, she had many problems with the law for not respecting the charges. Instead, she tried to manipulate the examinations and acted in a reckless manner. On July 22, 2013, she was found outside the home of a stranger in Thousand Oaks, California, attempting to start a fire for which she underwent a 72-hour mental health assessment. It was also discovered that some police officers had abused her in LA, which she took to court. Recently, she claimed that she was Britney Spears so that she could be internalized at a private medical center in Los Angeles. Haley Joel Osment. Known for being the guy who appears in Forrest Gump, The Sixth Sense, and Artificial Intelligence, he had everything to be one of the best actors. However, fame made him deviate from the right path for a few years, something that has had an adverse impact on his career. Osment was involved in a car accident on July 20, 2006. He hit a brick mailbox, and the car overthrew itself as he drove to his house. He suffered injuries, including a broken rib, fractured shoulder blade, cuts, and burns. Osment was not only driving under the influence of alcohol at the time, but he was also caught with a possession of narcotics that same year. He was sentenced to 3 years of probation, 60 hours in a rehabilitation program, a $1,500 fine and a minimum of 26 visits to Alcoholics Anonymous for 6 months. Aleksandar Pumpkin. He was a Russian actor best known for his recurring appearances on the children's TV series Uralish and his leading role in Future Guest. After returning from service in the army, Pumpkin was briefly part of the Moscow Art Theater. Later, he left for a remote village in Vladimir, Russia, where he got a job as a miller and met his wife, Elena. On February 24, 1996, Pumpkin stayed in an apartment with some friends, when a fire broke out, accidentally. Pumpkin was asleep and did not realize, being the only one in the flat, he could not get out to safety and died in the incident. Edward Furlong. He was known as the innocent young John Connor in the great movie Terminator 2. Unfortunately, the fame he gained from the film got to his head, and he completely changed for the worse. In 2001 he had a party with Natasha Lyonne in Paris Hilton, in which he, who was 23 years old at the time, ended up hospitalized for an alleged overdose. That very same year, he was arrested twice in 4 hours, for driving without a license and for fleeing in a car accident. The consequence? Long periods of rehab. In 2004, he was arrested for attempting to steal live lobsters from a store. It did not help that he was intoxicated again. In 2009, after getting married, having a child, and separating from his ex-wife, Rachel Neeland accused him of being in a rage fueled by foreign substances. He was finally admitted to an LA psychiatric hospital. He didn't improve much after that either.